Okay, I am here for my 3-month update for my L3 through L5 lumbar fusion and laminectomies at a couple of levels. So I think the last time I had done a video, it was at the 10-week mark. So after 3 months, I just saw my surgeon a couple of days ago and, had some x-rays. So maybe that's a good place to start. So the x-rays, which were from the side, kind of extension, flexion type of x-rays, look pretty good. The rods and screws are right where they should be, so no problems there. At 3 months, the surgeon said that really you're not going to have a fusion at this point. It's way too early in the process. And I think from the angle of the x-ray, it was hard to see a lot of bone growth. He says when you do the front-on x-ray in a few more months, that'll tell us. But he seemed to think that even from the side, he could see a little bit of possible bone growth there, and maybe the fusion is starting. So again, it all looked pretty good from his perspective. So good news there. Some other things that happened with the surgeon visit. Medication-wise, we're dropping the Neurontin. I used to be on 1,800 before the surgery. Right after the surgery, we dropped it to 900, and now we're dropping to 600 for a few weeks. Then we'll drop down to 300, then we'll get off of it completely. So we'll see how that goes. That'll be good. I'm also cleared to take Advil or ibuprofen for the first time since the surgery. So that'll give me more options. Although really, I took the Norco for the first 2 or 3 weeks, kind of on and off, and I really haven't needed much in the way of pain meds. I don't have a lot of pain, but I'll get into some of that here in a little bit. But at least I do have the option to take Advil now. The surgeon also cleared me for some more activities, which is exciting. So I can swim, or at least start to do that slowly. He cleared me to actually ride my bike as long as I'm more upright and not hunched over, which is what I tend to do on my mountain bike, but got some extension bars that are at the end that allow me to hold on to those while I'm sitting more upright. So I think, that'll be good. I mean, can't do anything crazy. I'm not going to be doing hardcore mountain biking, but I am cleared to try to ride my bike. Some very light weights. I've been doing some dumbbell stuff, very, very light. He cleared me to even do push-ups. Just can't do pull-ups or chin-ups. That puts a little bit more strain, I think, on the lower back. So again, one day at a time, take it slow. I'm also cleared to start physical therapy. So I may not get into that right away, but that'll be good because I haven't really been bending, twisting, all the stuff you're not supposed to do. And I can't wait to stretch it a little bit more, have a professional, helping guide the way so I don't do anything stupid. So I'm looking forward to the PT. As far as my symptoms, pain-wise, I have a little bit of stiffness and soreness in my lower back. At times, it really fluctuates. It's funny, I feel it now more that I'm not wearing the back brace anymore. That was for the first 3 months. So I'm done with the brace. I don't know what that was. The brace maybe put some pressure on the lower back, so I didn't really feel kind of my lower back and exactly how it was doing when I had the brace on. But again, the brace kept me from doing really stupid things like bending in a certain way or that sort of thing. But now it's in my mind not to do that. So I don't think I'll ever bend and pick up things the same way again. I'm going to be very, very careful with that. But yeah, my lower back gets a little bit stiff. I mean, my surgeon said that the way some of his patients have described it, it's like you feel like there's rocks in your lower back. Just a strange feeling that goes on for 6 or 9 months. And that's kind of how it feels. I mean, I can feel that there's something kind of funny back there, but it's not necessarily painful. It's not even really uncomfortable. It's just a feeling that's there and you get used to it. So yeah, it's a little stiff, sore, but I don't really take anything for that. Haven't even really taken Tylenol much the last few months, unless I had a headache or something. The symptoms that I'm continuing to have, it's mainly right leg and a little bit on the left side. And it's really from, for the most part, kind of the knee or the knees down. I no longer have the upper right leg pain that it was pretty bad before. That's pretty much gone away. It kind of flared up when I went back to work after about 6 weeks from the surgery. And then after a few days, it was gone. And I really haven't felt it since. So I'm very fortunate in that way. And I don't really have pain much in the lower portions of the legs. It's more of the kind of numbness, tingling, crawling, paresthesia sensations. And it's mainly, the worst part is my right foot. So there's still numbness kind of on the top of the foot, sometimes going towards where it kind of meets the ankle. On the bottom of the foot, especially like the ball of the foot, kind of below the toes. Sometimes in other parts of the foot. Sometimes like in the middle of my foot on the bottom, it feels like I need to scratch an itch. And it's really just kind of the creepy, crawly, tingly feelings sometimes. And the left foot has some of the same symptoms, but much less. And I feel like I have strength in both feet, and the surgeon kind of confirmed that. But it's the odd sensations that sometimes make it still a little bit difficult to walk. I mean, before it was really bad. I couldn't even wear regular shoes because anything that put pressure on the top of my feet, especially my right foot, just made the whole foot feel just completely wonky. So that's gotten better. I can wear dress shoes to work. I can wear, athletic shoes now as long as they're kind of loose and, not, kind of wearing more wide shoes now just to give my foot a little bit more freedom. And at some points, there's been moments, especially in the last week or so, where I can almost forget about what's happening. I mean, it's on my mind a lot when I'm walking because I want to be careful. But at times it feels almost normal. I mean, besides a little bit of that numbness and tingling. But for much of the time, it's still pretty noticeable. I think I'm getting used to it. I don't know, my brain is getting used to it. And I'm able to walk. I think people would watch me walk and think nothing was wrong. That's not quite true, but I think I'm getting acclimated to it. I do think my feet have gotten a little bit better. And the surgeon said, hey, we're not going to know the end point here for many, many months, maybe a year or so afterwards. After the surgery, you'll know where your kind of feet are. But you know what? They're already better than before the surgery. I'm walking better than before the surgery. Even if nothing got better, it would still be worth it. But I do think it's only been 3 months. I've got time to get better. So I'm optimistic that that's going to happen. And if they do get better, I think I'll be in pretty good shape. In the beginning, I really put a lot of pressure, had some expectations for myself that I would bounce back really quickly. And watching videos from other people that have gone through this, it really is variable. And I really had to stop and realize that, hey, I had a 2-level fusion. I had multiple laminectomies. So mine, compared to, maybe a single-level fusion, that sort of thing, I had a lot going on. I had a pars fracture. It was pretty bad. And my recovery, I think, is going pretty well. But yeah, I'm definitely not one of the people you see that, is hiking with a 50-pound backpack after, 4 weeks. I'm somebody who's always participated in athletics and really, I work out a lot. And I had the expectation kind of in the beginning that, hey, I'm going to bounce back really quick. And it's happening. I just need to change my perspective. I'll get there. It's just going to take a little bit more time. But I really do think I'm going to be okay in the end. But yeah, there's been a lot of ups and downs. There's been times where I really pushed the mileage. The most I've walked in a day is like 5.5 miles. And that's including just walking around the house, work, not just specific, walks or exercise. 12,000 steps or something like that. And I did notice a few weeks ago when I did that on consecutive days, I really paid for it. right foot felt pretty bad, and then for like 3 or 4 days, I mean, I even had that scare that I think a lot of people have, where like, oh my God, I ruined the fusion kind of thinking, which I didn't, and I think everybody has, a week or a couple of days like that. So I had to slow down a little bit, and now I've built it back up. I'm walking anywhere between 3 and 5 miles a day. And it's going okay. I can stand in line now. I can go to a baseball game and, with my kids, and stand in line for food and not have my whole leg go numb. I can go to the store. I can do these things that I wasn't able to do before the surgery. I'm not wearing Crocs anymore. I can wear normal shoes. I've gained a little bit of weight since the surgery, but my weight's still really good. I was, pretty light beforehand, and, if I need to lose a little bit of weight to take some pressure off my back, that's what I'll do once I start exercising more. But yeah, in general, I'm better already. And if you're thinking about going through this process, yeah, it's scary. At the beginning, I didn't know, like, is this the right decision? But if you really need it and you have a good surgeon, I think the vast majority of these outcomes are pretty good now. It's certainly a difficult surgery to come back from. There's a lot of pain in the beginning, but it's doable at the same time if you just stay the course. And that's kind of where I'm at. So I'll see my surgeon again in 3 or 4 months. And until that time, I'm going to enjoy the fact that I can now start swimming again, biking within reason, start doing some light weights, get back to doing some push-ups very carefully, and see where it takes me. So I'll probably do another update here at the 4-month mark and go from there. And if you're going through this process, good luck to you as well, or if you've already kind of conquered it. A lot of you out there with YouTube videos are the inspiration. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop those, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, until next time.